Adam, coming at you live from the Death Comes Lifting Crypt Gym in construction. Wanted you to be here, wish you could be here for it, my friend. Until then, I just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday and wanted you to know that you are loved and appreciated. Alice Cooper loves you too, not just me. Anyway, have a good day. Do it.
Hey up, Gorak. Have a great birthday. Hope there's lots of cake and great work with the new podcast. It's brilliant.
Happy birthday. I hope you have the best day.
Yo, Adam Gorak, happy birthday. That's all I got. Yeah, I'm off tour. That's all I got. Cheers.
So happy birthday, Adam. That was your little birthday present from me. What? Okay, Ryan, I love you, bro. And I feel really bad because I asked him for that video and then I realized it was his birthday. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, happy birthday, Ryan. Sorry for asking favors on him. But he had major bedhead, bro.
Yeah. Like I was saying to you before, he kind of looks like the 70s Incredible Hulk hair. If he cuts it short, it will look like the Incredible Hulk from the 70s.
He was looking kind of like what's his name, Lord Farquaad, a little bit from Shrek. But welcome to Ghouls Gone Wild. I guess we're roasting Ryan. If you're listening to this, Ryan, love you, bro. It's all love.
No.
But happy birthday, Adam. How do you feel being 38?
Young, still. Very young.
Dude, I have like 7 more years. Tell me.
I just feel good. But we'll talk about that later on because the man, the riff master, Coey Thomas, is here. And
the man
before
the legend is here.
Yeah. Dude, this guy can fucking shred. But anyway, he has a new EP out called Curse, and it's fucking amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, the man, the riff master,
the legend,
Coey Thomas, aka Valkyrie AD. What's going on, dude?
If you keep talking me up like that, I'm really gonna have to start trying harder.
Nah, man. Come on, dude. You are the riff master.
I thought at first he said your band name was Valkyrie AD. I was getting freaking hungry, bro.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of songs about pastries.
So yeah. I was just here to wish you happy birthday. You have a great show, and it was nice meeting you, Coey.
Yeah, you too.
Much love, man.
In the digital flesh.
In the digital flesh. I'll probably meet you in person because you don't live too far. You live about 7 hours away. You live in New York, right?
Yeah, upstate, right on the border, so even closer.
I live in Ohio, so.
Oh, okay, wrong border then.
Wrong border.
I live in Australia, so that's way too far away.
That's like water. That's like a day flight?
Yeah, day and a half, depending where you are, I guess.
But I love you, Adam, and nice meeting you, Coey. I guess I love you too. I love everyone, so I'll see you. Much love, guys.
See you, dude. Talk to you soon, Mike. See you, buddy.
See you. You can put me backstage if you want.
All right, dude. Congrats on your new EP, bro. Fucking, I've listened to it twice.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Instagram post, but that's the release that almost wasn't. I was very close to not doing it, but I did it.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's been. We don't have to get too into it because it's supposed to be a happy podcast, but it was, it's just been a weird year. And then, so last October I put out The Harvest, and I was that was probably the most excited I had ever been for a release, like just the most stoked. And those songs went on to receive like the least amount of praise and recognition of anything I've done. And the recognition that it did receive was largely negative. And so I, kind of had this like one man pity party of thinking about hanging it up and moving on. But I just couldn't, I couldn't stop. You just keep writing. And so, but then even after writing it, it's like, I don't think I'm going to record it. And then I started recording. It's like, I don't think I'm going to finish it. And then I finished it. And it's like, I think I'm just going to delete it. But I had a couple close friends of mine that helped convince me to just do it anyway. So it's done. It's out.
Yeah. Were those songs written like before, like ages ago? Did you have those songs like there, like just in your hard drive or something before you actually released them or recorded them?
So the middle track, Chooser of the Slain, that song was written in like 2012.
Oh wow.
That was supposed to be on the first release, Tales from the Wicked, and the guy that I was working with at the time, we just decided that I think it just didn't fit in enough, because it used to be the middle section. So that's all brand new. It used to be the song was much longer, and it went into like a slow, like very long drop thing. But then the other songs have all been written since, I don't know, June, July.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the opening track, Shadow of the Bat, which was the first time I've ever done this, but the first song, Shadow of the Bat, I was still writing it as I was recording it. So. Oh,
wow. So it was just like coming up with riffs and stuff like that while you were recording it and stuff.
Yeah, the way it was originally, it was supposed to be more of like, almost like Chemist or The Sword, just that like super fuzzy, groovy. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know. This is way too different from anything else, like too abruptly different.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of started by changing the intro riff, which then led to the chorus and the verse riff all changing. And so then it all just became completely different. The lyrics stayed the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I pulled that off, because they, there's like a certain cadence that the lyrics kind of stay to, but yeah, it's out.
Yeah, man. Like, guys, go listen to it, man. Like, your guitar work on this EP is fucking great. It still has that like that Trivium vibe, but it reminds me of In Waves.
Oh yeah.
A bit. That's like one of my favorite Trivium albums as well. And then and your full just like went like fucking like just like kind of like death metal-ish as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but, I think the song Seance is probably the most death metal I've done. But then there's, I think my favorite song on the EP is The Gunslinger. And that one is probably, I don't know, I feel like that's a Mastodon ripoff. Just with heavier vocals maybe. But there was a lot that I did very different this time. My approach to anything else that I've recorded is I always wanted it to be very minimal. I didn't want to use a lot of effects. I didn't want to use more than one amp, because my thinking was, if I were to ever play live, I would want the live sound to sound the same as the EP.
Yes.
So I don't have anything extra added to that. And with this one, it was like, well, I'm not playing live, so, may as well try some new effects, and did a lot more guitar layering, and did a lot more with, having like 3 amps on every track. So that's very much kind of a wall of sound. And I would too, with some of the older stuff, I would do, just like one take. I'd just play the song start to finish. And if I'd fuck up, I'd have to stop and start over. And this time it was a little bit more like, doing punch ins. So just hitting the parts that I miss, as opposed to just trying to go for this raw sound. So I think that's why maybe the production is a little bit better on this one. But I also purposefully hold back on the production, because I just like that DIY underground sound.
Yes, you could definitely hear it in all of your releases as well.
Yeah, I like for there to be a little bit of a progression, but I don't want it to be like home studio, professional studio, just like a flip of a switch, you know, like I want it to,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we talked about it last time, but I'm a punk at heart. You know, punk is what got me into music. And so I think I'm always going to have that, like just that grungy, you know, not ultra compressed sound and just keep it raw,
Yeah.
which some people
And
don't like.
Yeah, well, I think that's how it should be. It's kind of like the original recordings of like old albums, how they're, you know, they're all getting remastered and they all sound better. But I always like that original recording.
I don't really ever get into remasters because
me either.
I just like it the way it is. And it's funny
Yeah,
because, you
same.
know, in some things it's, you know, like in black metal and late 80s, early 90s death metal, you know, a lot of that stuff was purposeful, but, you know, you can do it well and it be charming almost, if that's even the right word, where it just sounds bad, but it works. Same with like, you know, the old Misfits. Like if you listen to Earth AD, the shit sounds horrendous, but
yeah,
it's what makes it as great as it is, you know? But for some people, you know, they accept that and they're like, yeah, I'm okay that it sounds bad, but I really like them. But then there's kind of a fine line between, well, it just sounds bad, you know, like these guys just could have tried harder. So I don't know where I am on that. I don't know where I am on that spectrum, but
yeah. You reckon with your next, like maybe a couple of Valkyrie AD like EPs, you reckon you'll go for that higher production, or are you going to stick to that raw sound recording?
yeah, I don't know. I think every time. So like when I start mixing,
Yeah.
I feel like I start with that higher production goal in mind, and then I just end up taking stuff off. Like once it gets to the point where everything is kind of mixed and I'm approaching the mastering, which is more like, you know, changing, like, you know, like equalizing the volume and stuff. That's when I really start to like, well, I'm going to take this plugin out or I'm going to turn this back up and I'm going to, you know, change these frequencies and just kind of make it sound less, you know, I don't know. I don't know the right words for it, but for every one that I've done, which since In This Haze of Green and Gold, that was the first one where I did completely alone. And, you know, so for all of those, the goal has always been, no, I want this to be like professional studio quality. And then I just start taking away from it. So
yeah,
I guess to answer your question, then yeah, the next one, it's going to be planned to sound really good, but then I'm going to make it sound bad.
Or make it both, you know what I mean? But like what stuff are you using like program wise for when you're doing like recordings and stuff like that?
So my DAW and interface, I use PreSonus Studio One.
Oh yes, they're good.
And then I have just a little 2-channel plugin. First punk band that got me into music was actually Green Day.
Yeah,
like very, you know,
it's easy bar chord music.
Easy answer, yeah. But
yeah,
but
like
my
Guitar 101.
My recording setup is, yeah, it's just that I don't have, because everything is just myself, and because I don't ever do more than one track at a time, I don't really need like a, you know, 8-channel interface. So the 2-channel works fine for me. And everything, you know, like all guitar players, I'm always chasing the tone. So right now I'm using different plugins. In the past, I used the Fortin Nameless Suite plugin, but this time I used the Archetype John Petrucci plugin.
Ah, very nice.
But what I think
that's from Neuro DSP, correct? Yeah. They're a great company.
But what I think I want to do next is I'm looking at getting like a solid state amp with an actual DI plug through the back, so I can actually record through the amp and then just have a cab sim for no reason other than I just am a gearhead and just want to own more shit. Like I
Yes.
think what I have works fine. I just, if I don't change at least one thing about the process, then I'm just like, why did I do it?
Yeah,
I need a reason to
I'm
buy more.
I'm exactly the same thing as well when it comes to gear. Even though I don't play in a band, I don't really record music or anything, but I just like collecting shit.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
and
a very dangerous road to start down.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and it will send you broke.
Yeah.
Unless if you can get some good deals and stuff like that. But like I've actually just gotten into digital amp modeling about maybe a couple of months ago now.
Yeah.
And I've been using the Josh Middleton STL plugins, and I love his guitar playing. He's very underrated,
Oh yeah.
and he plays for he used to play for Architects, and I think he's back in his old band now, Silosis. I think.
Silosis is one of those bands that I like when I'm coming up with riffs. I always think like I want to write a Silosis riff, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. Like Josh
Yeah.
Middleton's way better rhythm player than me.
Yeah, but I've been using ST. I was using the one that was from Spark from Positive Grid, Bias Effects. I was using that for a little bit, but then I kept crashing down, so I went to STL Tones and Amp Pump, and
Yeah. Do you own one or do you do like the monthly?
Oh no, I own
month,
one.
right?
Yeah, you can get the monthly ones and stuff like that, but I wait when they was like on sale.
Oh yeah.
And then I just bought the fucking packs.
The problem for me with that kind of stuff, like especially with like the Kemper modeling heads or the neural DSP like foot switches that you can use as recording interface, like I do much better if I only have like two options and then I just make those two options work. If you give me something where there's like infinite numbers of tones or infinite numbers of models, I'm never going to decide on something.
Yeah.
Or I'm only going to decide on one thing, at which point I didn't need to buy the $2,600 foot switch because I just have one channel, so that's why that's why before this one too, like I just wanted to stick to one channel, that is ADHD.
That is so true. Thanks, Mike.
Just try to stick to one channel, just try to stick to one setting because I get very easily overwhelmed. It's the same way with pedals, like I have a pedal board built and I try to have a pedal board that allows me to have pretty much almost everything on at the whole time, for the exception of maybe an effect for the lead channel. Because it's the same way. Otherwise, I'm going to be just like tapping stuff on and off the whole time, like trying to find the right configuration. And I just end up not getting to play because I'm too focused on what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have had a picture up on Facebook or Instagram, I think.
I did before. I don't know if I have the most recent.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have.
Yeah, I was huge on fucking pedals, man. But yeah,
I've gotten really big into fuzz recently.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Fuzz has ruined my life. Yeah, so
so is this the one that you're using now, or is this?
That's it. But I took the wall off, that Joyo wall. I took that off just because. I think the Swollen Pickle fuzz responds better. Well, all fuzz responds better to just going direct and having that wall before it, even when it's turned off. I just don't like the sound of it. And I like to, like for my lead channel, that's what the phaser is for. Phaser and delay, I like to have those on. And then for me, if you have the phaser on but turned all the way down, it has a very similar effect as just having a low sweep wah. So
kind of very nice.
if there are guitar players or gearheads listening to this, they're probably yelling at the screen like what the fuck is this guy talking about? But just try it. Just turn
Yeah,
your phaser on, but turn it down, and it'll sound like a wall with a
yeah.
delay.
You hear that from the riff master himself, not James Hetfield.
Yeah, right.
Corey Thomas. And yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. I might have to try that. I mean, using the positive grid spark amp.
That's the Van Halen method. He always used a phaser,
Oh yes,
but it was turned all the way down, so it would just have this like very gradual sweep in the chain.
Yeah, right. So Eddie Van Halen would have that on all the time, though. Right? You just can't really hear it, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think he probably had it on at least for Van Halen 1. The whole rhythm tone was phaser, but it's a nickname for a condition with your pubes, maybe.
If you need like song titles, I think Mike can help you out with some song titles for you, dude.
Yeah, I'm always looking for the next horror movie to rip off. So
yeah, but that's that. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, man, he changed guitar playing.
Yeah,
for what he does.
It's another one of those that like we talked about last time, like not liking all of the right bands or whatever. Van Halen is another one that I wish I was into more. Like I like Van Halen 1, the first record. But I really don't know a lot outside of that. And I think it's because like, obviously the guitar tones are like monumental, like all modern bands use like the 5150 tone. All modern bands use the different like, progressive, complex, like tapping styles and stuff. But like, so all of that stuff is remarkable, but like, I just can't get into David Lee Roth.
Not now. Like, it's so.
But it's like
now.
It's just funny to me when people are like, "Oh yeah, Van Halen is one of the most influential heavy metal bands of all time." And it's like, have you heard the song "Jump"?
Yeah,
just like
that's when they
corny keyboards and
Yeah, well, apparently the keyboard parts was like played by Eddie Van Halen guitar or something. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's guitar?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because I think he had like some type of synth.
Like a synth modulator, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because I can't see somebody in the background fucking just playing a song on the keyboard and they turn the fuck off.
That's what Ghost does with their saxophone player, right?
yeah.
He's there for one song.
Yeah, and Ozzy with the keyboardist. Actually, yeah, it was Black Sabbath. They would have like a keyboardist. He'll be behind the curtain. You won't see him.
That's the job I want.
That would be cool.
I just want to be. If I could be in any band, I would be just a backup third guitarist for Mastodon, and I would just play like, a riff per song off stage. Like, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, dude. I would like to be the guitarist that goes because like it'd be like, oh, this guy is shit. They wouldn't know who I am.
Yeah, that's a that's a very what do I want to say? Interesting allure of like wearing a mask.
Yeah. Semi Hagar and Gary Sharon are much better eras than I agree. If you listen to the 5150 album and stuff like that. I believe that might be Semi Hagar's first album that he recorded with Van Halen when he was in. I'm not too sure, but I could be wrong.
You can tell me.
I haven't really listened to much. I haven't really listened to much Van Halen since the last album that came out, and that was a bit of a
yeah,
and shit like that.
Happens to the best of us.
I know, right? But like to go back into gear, what's your favorite gear to use? while playing and recording?
My favorite gear is probably my number one guitar.
Ooh, is that your SG?
Do I need to show it?
Yeah. Oh, the Explorer.
Yeah, so it's the brand is
How long you
Agile.
had that?
I got this. This is the second guitar I ever had. So I would have gotten this in 2008.
Ah, nice.
Summer of 2008. Yeah. So I was obviously, like we talked about last time, a huge James Hetfield fan. So I had to have an Explorer. And at that time, it was very hard to, because I'm left-handed, it was very hard to find left-handed Explorer styles that weren't like, $1,500. So I found this one. The brand is Agile. It's called an Agile Ghost, but I named it the Shape.
Yeah, smart. I like that.
But yeah, this is the every release. This is tracked all the rhythm and all of the leads, except for this last one. I had that SG on some of them. But I've done quite a bit to this guitar. I've moved I have the EMG James Hetfield, the Het set pickups.
Oh, yeah. They're the blackouts, yeah? Correct?
No, they're modeled off of the EMG, I think 81 and 60.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was trying to think who had the blackouts. The EMG blackouts. Was it? I think it wouldn't be like one of the guys in Trivium or something like that.
Blackouts is Seymour Duncan.
Seymour Duncan, sorry. Yeah, I always get those two mixed up sometimes.
And I mean, a lot of guys play blackouts. I know for a long time Mick Thompson from Slipknot was one of the big guys on blackouts. But yeah, this guitar I've done a lot to. I've replaced the knobs. I've replaced the tailpiece and the bridge. When I originally got it, the headstock was this weird, like oversized. It almost looked like a Telecaster head, but it was like huge. Ooh. So I took it to the shop and I was like, "Can you just shave this down?" And so they did, I think, a pretty good job on it. But
it actually looks like a proper Gibson Explorer neck.
Yeah. They did really, really good. It was some small hole in the wall place in the middle of the country in Northeast Texas. And they did it for like $200. And I was like, "You guys are incredible."
Yeah, they did a good job with it too. For that much you paid for. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Is that just black?
It's held up. Yeah, it's black. Black plus a shitload of fingerprints, but yeah, it's black.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I own a
it's all beat up and
that's the way it should be, man. You work that guitar off its ass. Like I own a Schecter. It's like a satin black.
Mm-hmm.
And I own my Ibanez 7-string, which I bought that for my birthday like 8 years ago. It's a matte black, but if you play it like a lot, like it kind of fades, and it looks really good. Yeah, it's in the living room. I wish I could show you, but then have to send you pictures of it or something like that. But no, and you play SGs as well too, yeah? Correct.
Yeah. So my
Gibson?
Second guitar, it's an Epiphone.
Epiphone, yeah, they're cool.
Epiphone SG. This one has Seymour Duncan blackouts in it.
Yeah.
This one I bought, and I took everything out except for the volume. So I have just these little toggle bolts. So there's no tone or secondary volume control. It's just the one volume. Because this one is mainly, I don't really do any lead stuff with this one. So I just have the switch, the toggle switch down. So I'm only running the bridge pickup. I really don't even need a neck pickup on this guitar, but
yeah.
And then this one I replaced and did all black hardware because it was all chrome when I got it.
Ah, nice. Yeah. And the locking tuners as well.
Yes.
Yeah, must have. A must have for every guitar player out there. They'll they'll keep your guitar in tune and shit like that, which is pretty cool. But
So yeah,
yeah,
that's SG. That's my second guitar. That one is named Ghost because it's white.
yeah,
But then this is the first guitar I ever owned. It's just a Epiphone Les Paul Special, some cheap $150 guitar. I have this guitar because I went to the local guitar shop to buy a guitar,
yeah,
and this was the only left-handed guitar they had in stock. It was either this
yeah.
or a Squier Telecaster, so I went with this one. But this
Oh, that's sort of like Joan Jetty.
stickers on there. This has EMG 8185s, but probably I would say 85 to 90% of every Valkyrie AD song has been written on this guitar.
Oh, very nice.
This is just the guitar that I just, when I'm just playing at home, I usually grab this one. Like, it's easier to just like sit on the couch and like curl up and just play with instead of bringing out my Explorer and like knocking everything off the coffee table. So
I almost bought a Les Paul Jr. once, but then I bought
oh yeah,
I bought this instead.
that's
The
one you showed
Goldie.
me last time.
Yeah.
I think the next guitar I want to get is an ESP LTD Phoenix, which look like
yeah, they're beautiful.
Firebirds.
I've seen them.
Yeah, I know it's not, maybe it's not death metal of me, but I like the classic shapes. I like the more rounded shapes. I don't want like a V or a Jackson Warrior or any of that like super loud pointy stuff. So yeah, I think if I can get a Phoenix or maybe even a Firebird, but I like ESP better. That'd probably be it for me for guitars, and then I'll just buy pedals instead.
yeah. That's what I said last time. And like 6 guitars later, like it's an addiction, really. Like if it's something that you like,
So what do you have? 6 electric and 1 acoustic?
So I got two. So I got 2 Epiphones, a Schecter, Ibanez, a Fender Strat, a SpongeBob acoustic, and another acoustic guitar. So, yeah.
Okay.
Have I showed you my SpongeBob acoustic?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Have you done much work to them, or is everything stock like electronic hardware and stuff?
I always try to change my pickups on my guitars. I got on my Sunburst Les Paul. I got the Marzio deactivators on there, and those sound really, really good when you put like thicker strings and you tune down to like drop C or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. I got the JB Seymour Duncans on my gold top. It's only because Scott Ian has them in his Jacksons, and I'm a big Scott Ian fan.
Yeah,
and I'm more of a rhythm player more than a lead.
It's a lot more fun, I think.
Oh, rhythm is fun to play.
Yeah, if you get a good groove and you just play the same riff over and over again for 8 hours until people come and ask you if you're okay, like I'd rather do that than sweep caps and all that.
Well, like we were saying last time you were on here, like how breakdowns are kind of boring now.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
It's the same shit all the time with like hardcore and deathcore bands these days now, and just different tunings, really.
Yeah.
On my Sunburst Les Paul, I got the lock-in tuners.
Mm-hmm.
I've ordered ones for my gold top, so it should be coming in hopefully by the next week or so. The pickups in my Schecter and Ibanez are all stock. I still have to put the gym root ones in, but I just haven't had the time to yet. But yeah, that's
Do you
about
do it
it,
yourself,
really.
or do you take it somewhere?
I'll take it somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't have the right. I don't have the right equipment for it.
I don't trust myself. What I actually want to really get into is pedal building, just making my own
Yes.
pedals. But even then, it's like I don't trust myself. There's a lot going on that guitar.
It is fucking good, eh?
Did you
I've
like win
tried
that
to-
at a fair or something?
No, I wish. My bestie bought this guitar for me like maybe 4 years ago.
Wow.
He's fucking bought it for me. I'm like, dude, I fucking love it. Still trying to learn the SpongeBob theme.
Oh yeah. I think that's probably all you can play on that, right?
Yeah. Or whatever it is, or the Corey Taylor version of SpongeBob
Oh yeah,
SquarePants.
the intro.
Yeah. But no, it's I think it's in tune.
Do you do much with
But-
different tunings? I mean, I know that you post like covers and stuff, but do you have like each guitar as its own tuning, or do you just move them around?
Yeah. So my goal top is between E standard and E flat. Because I put like 10s and 52s on, which is the NYXLs.
Yeah.
They're my favorite ones. And plus, you use NYXLs?
No, everything I use Dunlop strap locks. Otherwise,
Nice.
everything else is Ernie Ball. I use Ernie Ball strings, picks, cables, straps.
You should get
So
sponsored by them. What
If
the
anyone
hell?
from Ernie Ball is listening. So I use the Power Slinky. It's the purple pack. They're 11 to 48s. And my primary tuning used to be was D standard. Now I'm doing a lot more in C sharp standard. So 1.5 steps down.
That's the Static X tuning.
Yeah.
I think.
I got that from Behemoth. That's where I stole it from. But anything lower than that, I think I'd have to go up in a gauge, if I were to do C standard or even drop C, but
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like there to be some tightness to the string, but I also I don't know. When I started playing guitar, I played the Super Slinkies, the pink pack forever. And I don't even know what those gauges are, but they're all very light. And so I learned how to play fast on light strings. Everyone says that you should learn on thicker strings because there's more to pick on, but I don't know. I just play faster, or feel like I play better and cleaner on the lighter gauges. So I don't really go anything lower than Power Slinky.
Would they be I think they'll be like 9s to 42s, correct?
I think they are, yeah.
Sounds like it to me.
9 to something.
Yeah, because I saw a video that Ola England done, and he bought like lighter strings to put on one of his guitars and did like just full on metal riffs and chugs with it.
Yeah. Well, I think like we talked about last time, because of the way I hold my pick on its side, I feel like my playing has kind of a bassy sound to it, a very like heavy sound. So on a heavier string, it just starts to sound muddy to me.
Yeah, and I mentioned that tip to Tim from Primitive. They're a metal band from Melbourne, Australia.
I checked those guys out. They got some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, they're like if you put Metallica and Trivium together.
Yeah, I forget the song I listened to that I really liked.
From the Rats and the Snakes, the later stuff. Because the later stuff sounds like heaps like
No, I was listening more to the EP. I think it was Black Blood. Is that? Maybe I think that's the song.
Oh yeah, that would be like from the first EP.
Yeah, the one with the monkey.
Yeah. If you listen to what is it called? For the Week is like another single that they released a couple of years ago. It has this really good heavy like breakdown section towards the end of the song.
Oh yeah.
After the solo, it stops and then goes da-na-na-na, and it just keeps on going to the end. And then I got Mike into them too, and he fucking loves them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Appreciate the shout out.
Yeah. I explained him. I told him about your little guitar pick trick and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know he asked like what the advantage is, and I think that, I don't know that there is an advantage. I think for me it was just all about being able to be louder without an amp, and then I just feel like I play like I just put a lot of weight into playing.
Yeah.
So my picks last longer that way. So maybe it doesn't sound good for anyone else, but when I try to like purposefully play on the end, it just sounds too like tinny to me.
Yeah. So if you play on the a bit of a tone difference.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Might have to start using that. You should like copyright that.
Yeah, okay.
That's your technique.
Sure.
And then
it's really.
I'm pretty sure Kerry King does that too.
I think I've seen before that Ola plays his picks on the side too, or like upside down or something, doesn't he?
Fucking, I don't know, but I know he holds his picks like this.
Yeah, like pinches it. I don't know.
Corey isn't Gene Simmons copywriting stuff, just the copyright. Yeah. But I use Didarios, NYXLs. I love them. I barely change my strings that much.
Oh yeah.
I only change if I break them or until they bloody feel really rusty and you see like cuts on your fingers.
I change them every time I record.
Oh yeah, for tone wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for that Epiphone Les Paul. I don't know how old those strings are, just because I don't record with that guitar. That's just kind of the one I just kind of play around with. But
yeah.
And then my bass, so my bass was my first instrument, like we talked about. And so that was whatever that was, 2005. And I've probably changed the bass strings like less than 10 times. So I don't ever mess with the bass.
Oh man, I actually do want to learn to play bass.
It's a lot of fun, if you're just looking for Green Day, obviously, like Mike Dirnt is just a otherworldly bass player, like the bass line stuff. Like that was, for me, that's what was so fun about learning originally, because the bass strings are so much thicker that they, last a lot longer, but
more expensive too.
They are more expensive, yeah. I think a new pack of guitar strings is like between $6 and $8, and a new pack of bass strings is like $26.
Fuck, that's cheap. It's so expensive here, man.
Oh, what is it there?
Yeah. Let me have a look at the price, because
is that just because everything's imported?
Yeah. And the dollar rate. So the Didaria NYXL strings that I use, they're originally $32, but they're on sale for $25.
For the guitar strings?
Yeah. Jeez. You can buy packets. You can buy a 3-pack for $65.
Wow. I play
expensive, hey.
I play the Ernie Ball, the Paradigm. They're like whatever.
Yeah.
Metal. They genuinely last forever. So those do cost more, but not that much. I think a pack of those is 13 or 16 or
And it's so cheap for you guys, but it's so expensive for us here. You know, that's why I go for the 2-for-1 deal.
yeah.
Buy 2 packets of strings and get another one free, which is
That's
a
why
good deal, I think.
That's why I'm going for an endorsement.
Oh man, that would be great. Yep. One of my friends, one of my good friends, he's been endorsed by Ernie Ball.
Oh yeah.
So he gets like stuff fucking to them, like cables and strings and shit. I'm like,
That'd be cool.
fuck man. Yeah. Is that like one of your number one endorsements, like number one brands that you want to get endorsed one day?
Yeah, probably just because it's what I use the most of. You know, like I'm never, I always need strings and always need picks, and that's the brand that I use. Like I don't know so much. I mean, they make really good guitars, like the Music Man stuff, but I've never played one, so I would take a string endorsement. It doesn't even have to be like an Ernie Ball brand endorsement. Just give me strings and someone to put them on because I hate putting strings on my guitar.
Dude, when I was first learning how to restring guitars and stuff, man, I did not know what the fuck what I was doing. I would be like buying like Guitar World magazines and shit and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I still don't. I mean, I probably still do it wrong. According
do you
to
stretch your strings out?
No.
You stretch the strings out? No, for tension?
No. Wait, what do you mean stretch?
Nah.
Like
yeah, so
like
normally
pull
when I
them
restring
straight through
them,
and
then I pull to loosen up the tension.
no, I don't do that.
Nah. I watch a bunch of all that shit on fucking YouTube. Like,
no, I like it when it has that, and I think that's why I like the Ernie Ball sound so much, is because it has a very like a new set of strings has a very metallic kind of twang almost to it, and stretching it out loses that almost immediately. So I kind of like to keep that. Like when you're playing a lower tuning with like a lot of gain with that metallic sound, it gives it like a shimmer almost.
yeah.
Nah, it sounds cool to me.
Yeah. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to fucking change strings and like fix up my action a little bit and stuff like that. And, like get rid of all that buzzing shit. And
Well, that's why I have the brand Tone Pros on all three of my guitars, the locking bridge and locking tailpiece. So yeah, you just set the action, and then there's a little Allen wrench screw on the side. So you set it.
Yeah.
So you can if you take all your strings off, the bridge doesn't move. So once your action's set, it's set.
Nice. Might have to check that out. A lot of guitar players are using Evertunes now too.
Yeah, I have seen those, and I mean, it seems like a pretty foolproof concept, but like, I think because, so you have the bridge, and the tailpiece, and when I play, I rest my hand on the bridge, so my hand is like this. So anytime I've tried to play another guitar that has like, a different stop tail, or even like a Floyd Rose or any other type of bridge setup, I don't like it. And I have never played on an Evertune, but I don't know if it'd be the same, just like, because I wouldn't have that rest there.
Yeah.
So that's why all of my guitars are the same hardware.
Yeah, same. I would never change anything with that or anything, because like that's what I feel comfortable playing with.
Yeah.
And I know Matt Heafy has an Evertune bridge on his Epiphones now.
Yeah.
And on these new ones, I think all of England as well. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, a
These
lot of
new
the
solar.
yeah, a lot of the solars have them now. I
Yeah,
don't know. I just like the point of it is that you don't need to retune, right? But like if I ever did need to tune, I don't want to be like, oh, let me go find my Allen wrench. Like I just want to be able to turn the page. Just fix
yeah.
it.
But the action on my fucking SpongeBob guitar, though, man, it's like that high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
really
I
bear
hate
down
those,
with your fingers.
and it takes hard to hit those pull-off notes when
That's
they're
how
that
my
high.
that's how my bass is now. The neck is just getting to be so warped, you know, and I've tried adjusting the truss rod myself, but that one I just need to take to a shop and just have them like reset it. Like
Yeah,
it needs like everything new. But so that's
yeah.
another thing different about this release. For the first time I used Easy Bass to do my bass tone. So
Okay, yeah,
the bass is all MIDI as opposed to playing the bass myself, because now it's at the point like, you know, I plug the bass in, there's this like awful hum that I can't get rid of, and then yeah, the action down towards the, you know, at the head, the action is like all the way down, so it just is buzzing the whole time, and then all the way up to the top, the action is so high that I have to like almost stand on the strings to get them down. Like it's just like it's like a just bent into a U.
yeah,
But I don't want to make it worse, so I just need to take it somewhere.
yeah. That's true. Leave it to the professionals and stuff like that, man. I know you're a big pedal nerd, and I know we were talking about this earlier. But favorite pedal that you like to use? That's not the fuzz pedal. So I
Favorite?
know I see you have the ST1 distortion pedal, the Super Overdrive.
Yeah, that one.
That's a good pedal. That's a bloody good pedal. That one.
And that one, I use it on my lead channel, but if anything, I use it more as like a clean boost. I really don't have the
Yeah,
drive turned up that high.
yeah,
What I tend to do playing through the board is the Joyo Tauren is the name of the
yeah.
pedal, but my wife's name is Lauren, so I put an L on it. And, you know, whatever.
I like that.
That's like a clone of a Klon Centaur, supposed to be like the
Yeah,
holy grail of overdrive pedals, but it's like a fraction of the price. I tend
yeah,
to on a song, if I'm either running fuzz, then I'll have the Tauren off and the fuzz on, or any other song, Tauren is always on. So that's kind of my
yeah,
actual overdrive. That might be my favorite pedal. If not that,
yeah.
my favorite pedal would be the compression sustainer, the Boss
Oh
compression
yeah,
sustainer, which
yeah,
maybe that's a lame answer, but that, you know, if you get the settings right, just right,
yeah.
that pedal can make any guitar tone sound incredible, especially clean tones, you know.
See, the Boss TU.
The tuner.
Yeah, I was got to say, I was just looking at it because it's just right underneath my desk. My number one pedal is the tuner, and every guitar player will say that too.
Yeah. Was that a trick question? Was I supposed to say tuner?
Yeah, you can put that as number 2 if you want, but like, or number 3 or 4. But yeah, man, the guitar tuner is your best friend, and I've had that guitar tuner for like maybe 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Like I've gone through a lot of tuners and shit, and I went with, and then when I had the money, I went and bought the Boss chromatic tuner, and that thing's a fucking. I've had that for years, but I used to play a lot of Boss pedals as well. Back when I was collecting pedals and shit.
Yeah, I've always liked Boss. I think they have, you know, great sound, obviously, and obviously they're all built like tanks. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember is it the Metal Zone pedal?
Yeah.
MT2. I I think it was. I went to a guitar center. This is years ago, and I went in there. I'm like, oh, I'm looking for guitar pedals that sound like Metallica. He goes, here's a Metal Zone M2, pedal.
That's more
I'll take it.
That's more of the 90s, like Florida death metal. It's all of that.
Yeah.
Chainsaw fuzz, as they call it.
But now they've brought out fucking like 20. Like, I wouldn't say 20, but they brought out a couple of more like metal boss pedals out these days now.
Oh yeah, it doesn't end. There's just so many variations of the same thing too. Like, I don't know if you know of the brand JHS.
No.
They're like I guess they're considered a boutique brand, but they have really good pedals. But more importantly, they have the JHS pedal show on YouTube, and the owner of the company, Josh Scott, he like has videos that talk about how pedals are actually made, and he'll do like an episode on fuzz or an episode on compression or an episode on overdrive, and he'll do like different brands giving examples, but he'll tell you the actual like configuration. So the point of that is, it's like, here's a Boss whatever overdrive for $80. Here's a Behringer overdrive that is in every way the exact same pedal, just with a different housing, for $12.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to get overwhelmed, but he does a very good job of describing like where things can be comparable, and where you can build a budget pedal board, basically.
Yeah, I've always been pretty interested in how those like pedals get made, and how they tweak the sounds. And
oh yeah, it blows my mind. I don't understand it. Like, it's a different language when it's like, oh, if you put this capacitor here, it'll make the guitar sound do this. Like, how did you figure that out?
It's the same with pickups as well too. How like tweaking and all that shit, stuff that we would never understand.
Yeah, I know.
Unless if there's like a 2-hour documentary out there somewhere, there's probably on it. But like,
but even then, I probably would still be like, okay, I don't know what you just said, but like, same thing with, there's just like countless, endless arguments about gear online too, like with amps, like the difference between tube amps and solid state amps, and it's like, it sounds good, doesn't it? Like, what does it matter? Like, what are we even talking about, man?
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be able to build one. I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about. But man, whatever. Maybe I'm just lazy.
Yeah. I'm a bit like that as well. Like, I've got a Marshall DSL 40. It's in my living room, and it's loud as fuck for a 40-watt amp. But like, I don't know too much about it. I only bought a Marshall because Ace Frehley and Slash played them. Like, like they're my idols.
Yeah, I have
the reason why I play Les Pauls.
I have the EVH 5153 head.
Yeah,
and then
I think I might have seen pictures of that. Do you use that for recording?
So currently everything is. The first release was that amp through I think it was a crate 4x12. The second recording vial was all plugins. The third recording, in this Haze of Green and Gold, was that amp into a 2 notes torpedo captor load box.
Yeah.
Into the interface. And I don't remember what cab sim I used, but it sounds like absolute garbage. And then since then, it's all been plugins. So, I'd like I said before, I would like to get back to amps, but with that EVH head, it's, in my recording space, it's hard to record amps because, if you crank the amp, like turn the volume way up and put a microphone up to the cabinet, like, right off the cone, you'd be surprised at how much that microphone doesn't actually pick up. So like the amp can be super loud, and then you listen to the playback and you barely are making like sound waves because it's so quiet.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work for my recording setup to where I can't figure out, you can't find a good tone through the amp, because what you're hearing in the room live is not what you're hearing in the microphone. So plugins are just easier.
Yeah. And a lot of guitar players these days now, man, are using plugins live.
Plugins live and in the studio. I think like the last
Yeah.
couple Meshuggah albums were all plugins. I think Periphery is all plugins.
Yeah, I think they just went back to amps recently.
Which one?
Periphery.
Oh.
I
And then,
think.
yeah, I know, they all use plugins live, or they use the modeling live, because obviously it's way cheaper to travel with.
Yeah.
Much smaller, a lot less weight, and it
Easy to
works.
set up.
Easy to set up, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Trivium was doing the same thing as well. Or I think they were using like a digital pedal board that had all their stuff on there.
Yeah, for a few years they used
Axe Effects, was it?
No, I think it was Kemper. Which is
Kemper, sorry, yes.
Same thing, but different brand. But yeah, they just for In the Court of the Dragon went back to amps, and they use the same amp I do, the EVH.
Yes. Yeah. I watched a recent rig rundown, and they were saying they were going back to like tube amps or something like that.
Yeah.
For live. And yeah, I think Periphery were using like PV and Mesa Boogie amps live.
Probably. I know PV is a very, the 6505 is a huge amp for that type of music.
Yeah.
Or just all heavy music, I guess.
Yeah. Well, fucking majority of those type of genre, like type of bands, like progressive metal and stuff, are all using like the PV amps, or like the 5150s as well. But everybody in the fucking hard rock and metal world is like leaning towards like the Mesa Boogie.
Yeah.
These days now.
Those amps are, number one, they're pricey, and number two, they're incredibly heavy, so they become hard to ship because, like I think my EVH head is like 34 pounds, and I think the same for a Mesa is like 48 pounds. It's like it would be too big to check. But I hope my next amp, I want to get an orange.
Yeah.
I think just because I'm getting older, I'm getting a lot more into that like heavy 70s sound, but like, Mastodon uses a lot of orange. But then also all of like the Doom, sludge, stoner bands use it, and I think it's just a really good tone.
Yeah. Orange amps are fucking great. Jim Root plays orange.
Yeah.
And he plays in a fucking metal band, like, and he still gets that really good tone.
Yeah, they
really good crunchy tone.
I mean, I don't know if this is a statement that people would agree with, but like when it comes to guitar tone, it really doesn't have anything to do with the amp. It's all about the cab. So the orange cabs are always like very bassy. So I think when people hear orange, they associate with that and not thinking of using the amp into a different cab and having a more quote unquote metal tone, like a thrashier tone. But
yeah,
I don't know how much it matters. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, they sound good. I believe Corey Taylor just switched to orange amps recently.
Yeah, I think I saw he's endorsed by them or something.
Yeah, Paul Stanley played orange for Kiss.
Oh, did he? I thought he was.
Yeah,
thought they were all Marshall.
Maybe in the studio would have to use. He would probably use orange.
Yeah.
In that, but but obviously live would be like all Marshalls. But I'm pretty sure he was using for the last couple of years, I think 6-7 years or so, I think he's been using Hughes and Kettner amps.
Those have really good tone, but those are pricey amps. You know, because they're
Oh,
boutique.
yeah.
They're not mass market, at least not in the same way that like a Marshall is. So when they make one, it's
Yeah.
same with like Engel.
Angle amps, yeah, they're good too.
Those all cost a ton, but
Ah,
I don't really
again,
know
anything. Yeah. I've always loved Marshalls anyway, just like for like the classic hard rock sound that you can get out of them.
Yeah.
Without using any distorting pedals, because if you listen to like Slash's guitar playing, like it's just through the amp. He's only got like a delay. I think one booster for leads, and I think a phaser or a chorus. I think actually no, he's got an octave fuzz.
Oh
pedal.
yeah.
It's like a cross between an octave and a fuzz pedal together. And I think he used it for Paradise City, I think.
Sure.
In the middle section or something like that. I saw it somewhere on like on YouTube or something like that. But I do have his signature wah pedal.
Yeah, you
The
showed
one
me
that
that
he-
last time.
Yeah, I had the original Crybaby wah, but that got used a lot and it died on me. But boom.
I like wah, but I just don't feel like the solos that I write have room for wah. I just like to have like just a tone set, you know, as opposed to the bending and the sweeping Q waves.
Unless if you Kirk Hammett and you use the wah for everything.
Yeah, but it works.
It does for him. He even admit he owns like over 2,000 wahs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, he has like 6 on stage every night, and they have to have however many rigs that they take with them, and then, just whatever is in his collection.
Yeah, the wah king, but like it's Kirk Hammett. He could do whatever the fuck he wants and shit like that, man.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
But yeah, I barely play the wah, like use the wah now these days. Now, man, like I don't know. At first, I thought it was cool to use it, but then I just bought it just so it looks cool on the pedal board.
Yeah, I mean, they can be fun to do, but I mean, I feel like I have a lot on my board.
Yeah.
And I have a smaller size board that, you know, even when I had the wah on, like I'd be hitting knobs on the pedals next to it. It's like, I shouldn't take it off.
Yeah. I MXRs do really good pedals as well, like the carbon copy delays. They're great. I've got one of those, and the Zach Wild MXR pedal, the original one.
Yeah,
that's also good too.
That's an overdrive, isn't it?
Yep, that's the overdrive.
Yeah.
I know he's released like the phaser, chorus, I think, and something else. I can't remember, but I think he's with Schecter now. So
yeah, that's who makes the Wild audio guitars. So
Schecter,
probably who makes this pedals too.
Yeah, which is a big crossover for him because he was known for playing Les Pauls.
Yeah,
at such a young age too. But
yeah, I think it's cool when guitar players have like a signature body that they play, but it's also kind of cool when they just play whatever. Like everyone thinks of Explorers and they think of James Hetfield, or like, you know, Les Pauls and they think of Matt Heafy, but like, you know, like Matt Heafy specifically, I liked it when they played the Dean MLs. Like that was a cool little phase. Like just to see something different every now and then.
Yeah. I've thought about buying a Matt Heafy 7-string Epiphone.
I haven't gotten into 7 strings yet.
No.
I always say I need to figure out the first 6 before I add any more.
Yeah. It took me a while. 8 strings is always going to be hard because I'm not into the whole gent playing. Like, I enjoyed listening to the genre, but like just learning to play that type of music, I can't. It's
just buy a bass.
Too complicated. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, which I'm thinking about buying anyway, because the Spark amp, by Positive Grid, that has the bass tone software in there as well, so you can use that as a bass and guitar and acoustic guitar amp as well, which is good. So you don't have to spend money on a bass amp. It's pretty smart by them.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think it is. But okay, let's get into like Christmas horror movies. What are your favorite Christmas horror movies to watch?
So I wrote it down because
I
knew you were going to ask me. My top 5 Christmas horror movies are. I don't know if this is actually the order or not, but
doesn't have to be in order.
Christmas Evil, which is the Killer Santa movie that came out before Silent Night, Deadly Night, and is far, far superior to Silent Night, Deadly Night. Better Watch Out, which is from just a few years ago. That one's pretty fun. I like the movie P2, which is it's, I don't know if people consider it a Christmas movie. I mean, it takes place during Christmas, but I don't know how much Christmas has anything to do with it. But
that movie was wild.
Yeah, I like that one. That one was fun. I like Krampus.
Yes,
just because it's just so stupid and corny, but I don't know, it's fun. And Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas.
I was gonna say the original or the reboot.
Well, I saw the first remake. I haven't even seen the most recent remake, but I like the original. Yeah. And that's another one too that like Christmas really has nothing to do with it. It just takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same thing like Batman Returns.
That was my next one on the list. My actual favorite Christmas movie, period, is Batman Returns. And I think you can consider it horror because if you're a young child, Danny DeVito's Penguin is pretty horrifying.
Yes. And that freaked me out when I was a kid when mom and dad took me and my brother to theaters, and that fucking haunted me forever, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny, like back in those days with the Batman films, like they're all like sort of more violent than like the sort of like the recent Batmans that came out.
Well, I think the Michael Keaton Batman clearly didn't have a no killing rule. He's just throwing people off of buildings left and right.
Yeah, but like the scene with Danny DeVito biting that dude's nose during the press conference. Yeah, like that shit was that was unexpected because I wasn't expecting that scene to happen like that in the movie. But like,
I know that they were those at that time marketed as being kids movies, or were they just superhero movies and kids were the only ones that liked superheroes at the time?
I think it would have to be like a superhero movie, but as a young child then, I looked at it as a superhero movie. I wouldn't classify it as a kids movie unless if you going back to like
I just saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
But, like, did I see it because my parents were like, "Oh, it's Batman.
Go watch.
This is for him," and then we watched it. Yeah. But you know, then again, so Batman was my first love.
Yeah.
And my introduction was the animated series, Batman the Animated Series from the early 90s. And if you watch that now, even that's super dark. For a kid's cartoon, there's like some scary episodes and there's some pretty depressing episodes, but that's actually
it's all different now.
For the Valkyrie AD fans out there, for the exception of the single, every Valkyrie AD release has had a song titled after a Batman the Animated Series episode.
Oh, really? I need to check this out because this is new to me. This is new to me. including the new one.
Yep.
Just trying to think. Shadow of the Bat
Yeah.
would be one of them. That's actually my favorite song, by the way.
So in order, it would be the first release, On Leather Wings. Then the next release was Moon of the Wolf. And then the next EP, Where Terror Reigns, was The Underdwellers. And then after that, Terror in the Sky. And then most recently, Shadow of the Bat.
Well, the Shadow of the Bat made more sense, obviously.
Yeah, the songs.
Title name.
The songs themselves aren't about the episode; they just borrow the title.
Yeah,
and kind of how that happened was, so on Tales from the Wicked, the first song that we recorded was On Leather Wings. We recorded it and we were going to put it out. And in the middle of doing that, we decided to just make a full EP instead of a single. So On Leather Wings was the first Valkyrie AD song that was finished, recorded, produced, and set to be released. And On Leather Wings was the first Batman the Animated Series episode that was completed, animated, produced, and set for release. I think the Catwoman episode was the first episode that actually aired, but On Leather Wings was the first one that was. So the way that those two kind of met up, I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then I just made a challenge for myself for every release to have a Batman song in it or Batman title.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled for the next one. I'm not going to tell you which one.
The Joker.
I have
it's not the Steve Miller song.
No,
don't do a cover of that, please. It's a good song, but just don't do a cover of it.
I thought about not that song, but I thought about doing covers. I thought about doing like a cover album just because I've got nothing else going on.
Why not? Everyone's doing cover albums these days now.
I mean, that's the thing that you see, that's how people now get streams. You take a song that's popular right now and then you do a half-baked cover of it, and then it's like, oh, everyone's listening to this song, so now they're going to come listen to your cover of it. But
but you mentioned You Better Watch Out. Did you know most of the actors in that movie are Australians?
Oh no, I didn't know that. You're talking about the kids?
Yeah, the kids. Yeah.
Is it filmed in Australia?
Nah, it wouldn't. No.
Oh.
But the female chick and the two guys, the two young kids, they're from Australia.
I knew there was something wrong with them.
Exactly. Shooting your friend with a fucking shotgun. Like, that movie was good. I watched that the other day, actually.
That one was fun.
Like watching, it's almost like watching Home Alone.
Yeah. And, I've always been of the opinion that if you just change the sound effects, if you take out all the slapstick sound effects and replace it with like bones crunching, Home Alone is a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's about a kid setting up saw traps to protect his home. Like,
yeah, but they made it G-rated, PG rated.
You just got to make it sound grosser, and it would be like any other, it'd be like The Collector.
That movie was good too. The first one was good. The second one, I didn't mind that either. But see, with my top 5, it doesn't have to be in order. I picked Violent Night.
That's David Harbour one, right?
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I think it's on Netflix. It'll be on Netflix in your country, I believe. But it's really good. It had a bit of that Home Alone vibe a little bit, but like it had like a bit of a backstory when he was like a Viking and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the real Santa Claus. I picked that, then Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously, because it's such a great Tim Burton film. But would you classify it as a Christmas movie or a horror movie? Or both?
I guess it's technically a Christmas movie, But anytime I've never watched it during Christmas. I've always watched it during Halloween.
Yeah, yeah.
So both.
Yeah, because it's leading towards Christmas,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. And I think that's why that movie is still awesome to this day.
That's
And
kind of, that's a pretty brilliant marketing ploy
it
when you're
is.
like, oh, I'm going to make it for 2 holidays.
Yeah, but then I've seen something on Instagram how they had to sculpture everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
frame
seen
by frame.
Yeah, the stop motion. It's
Yeah.
pretty incredible. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's why they don't do many movies that way, because it takes like 2 years to film.
Forever. Yeah, and I think he only had 120 staff working for them.
Yeah,
for him.
Probably.
And 120 is very little now, until than it was back then. But like to do a movie like that now, you probably have to fucking get plenty of fucking.
I don't even know if they would do it like that now. It would just all be.
Well, apparently, yeah, I agree. I know Tim Burton was saying he doesn't want a sequel to it or anything.
Wasn't he just the producer? He didn't write or direct that movie, right? He really had nothing to do with the movie.
Really?
I thought he was. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll edit this out.
No, let's have a look, because I'm pretty sure he wrote it. Let's see. And I can't believe that movie came out in '93.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess I didn't know that either. It's 30 years old.
Yeah. Oh no. It was directed by Henry Slick, or what his name was. Screenplay by Caroline Thompson. So the story and it was produced by Tim Burton.
Oh, so he did the story, but didn't write screenplay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought he might have directed it, but
because it's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, but yeah, he wasn't the. He's not the actual genius behind it.
No, you think so? But yeah, I picked that. What was it? Violent Night. That Gremlins is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first one was more based on Christmas than more of the second one. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, the second one was just in New York City. The first one is definitely more of a Christmas movie. That's another one. That was like, oh, here's a kid-friendly Christmas movie, and we're gonna watch it and be like, "Fuck."
And there was some scenes, dude, that'll freak you out unexpectedly.
Yeah, like Santa getting trapped in the chimney.
Yep, that. Yeah, Krampus is one of them. Krampus is one of those movies that, you will say it was like corny, but it's funny to watch too. Like, because at the end, spoiler alert, at the end, like they don't realize they're in that little crystal ball.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that movie is, like, years ago, I went to a Christmas party and there was like a white elephant gift exchange. And someone bought that movie because they're like, oh, here's this stupid Christmas horror movie. And I like fought to get it. I would like traded every gift I had to be like, I want that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't there like some legendary story behind this Krampus thing? Because I know it's like a German tale thing.
Yeah, it's whatever folk tale, the Krampus comes to like visit the bad kids.
It doesn't have to be bad. It could be good. But like,
oh, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I think the kids got Santa and the bad kids got Krampus, but maybe not.
It should be reversed.
I'm a dumb American, so I don't.
Hey, you guys fucking dress up like Krampus during this time of the year. I've seen it all over on Instagram.
Oh yeah, people will do anything for we're willing to sell out and adopt anyone else's culture for the sake of Instagram likes.
Yeah, that's what it is these days. And I put the Grinch in there as well.
As a Christmas
Jim
horror movie
Carrey.
or as a Christmas movie?
Mike reckons he classified as sort of like a horror-ish movie, but I'd put it up there as a Christmas movie. But there is a Grinch horror movie out, the main one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it the other day, maybe a week ago or something like that. So the guy that plays the Grinch is the guy that plays Art the Clown in Terrifier.
Oh, I didn't know that. What's his name? David?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I'll put those movies up as my favorite Christmas movies and Christmas horror movies. But like,
you want to know what my favorite horror, I guess, like short film that I should have included on the list but didn't? Have you seen Treevenge?
Yeah, I've seen that pop up on Facebook, and I've seen it. Yeah, that's shit's wild, dude.
Yeah, watch it. It's actually pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it's like less than 20 minutes long, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's like, isn't it some like low budget fan made fucking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I watched it and I'm like, this shit's wild. It's like attacking families and like it stomped on a kid's head. Like it was just like, whoa, that shit's extreme.
That's what horror's supposed to be.
Yeah, but like it's original, right? It wasn't a reboot. It wasn't a requel. It wasn't a prequel.
No, it's original. And it was shot. I don't even know how old it is at this point, but it was shot so that it kind of has that like grainy 70s grindhouse feel to it, but it's all original. Treevenge on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah. Check it out, like it, share it, maybe play it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Your dreams might come true.
Play it at your church.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, and those fucking evil trees would come after you. But there's so many low budget Christmas horror movies out there now.
Yeah, well, because I think the budget for commercial Christmas movies is all eaten up by Hallmark, so there's no choice but to have low budget horror.
Yeah. But like if you go back to like maybe like the 80s or something like that, like, that's where like the classic Christmas horror movies came out. Like the original like types.
Yeah, I know Silent Night, Deadly Night was, what was that, 76? And then I think Christmas Evil was, I don't know if that was 80 or if that was 79 or, I don't know, doesn't actually matter. But yeah, late 70s, early 80s is just when I think horror in general might have been at its best. But certainly for the holiday stuff, a lot of that, because of Halloween in 78, that was when the huge push was, we need to make something that is, everything needs to be holiday themed. So we had Mother's Day and April Fools and, whatever holiday you could, if it was on the calendar, they had to make a movie of it. So.
Yeah. Okay. What about Halloween Kills? What's her name? The chick that was wearing the fucking Christmas sweater on Halloween Kills.
Judy Greer.
Yeah, would you classify that as a Christmas movie? Was it leaning towards Christmas? Since it was based on Halloween.
It's not horror, but a lot of people consider Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to be one of their favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah,
only because there's that one scene in the middle, when Harry gets the invisibility cloak and goes and finds the mirror. All that happens during Christmas break. But there's still like 2 hours of the movie outside of that has nothing to do with Christmas. So if you can consider that a Christmas movie, then yeah, a movie where someone wears a Christmas sweater for 10 minutes can also be a Christmas movie.
Probably they just wanted to put those in, add that in there or something like that.
Yeah, it's
all about. We do that in all movies.
It's all about when you can show things, when you can have it played on TV for advertising. So It's a Christmas
Yeah.
movie. It's also a Halloween movie because there's a Halloween scene, and then it's whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like I just watched Thanksgiving. I know it's not a really
The Eli Roth.
yeah.
Is that any good?
Oh, yeah, it's like me and Mike were talking about this. The sequel. Eli Roth said he was going to be doing a sequel to it, a direct
Yeah,
sequel.
I did see that. Yeah.
But it's kind of like watching Scream, but bloodier.
Mm.
It's like guess who?
Like
who's the killer and
say
stuff.
it's like a whodunit kind of thing almost.
Yeah. But apparently he had that vision, like he had that movie vision in his head when he was like a young boy or something like that. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to do a movie something like that. And I don't think there is. I think a Thanksgiving horror movie because I think that was original, correct?
For him, it was
Wouldn't be
original. Yeah, I think my favorite
Yeah.
Thanksgiving horror movie is called Pilgrim.
Yeah. Right.
It's about a family where like what they think are just Pilgrim age reenactors come, and then they like, kill the whole family. Spoilers, but that's a good one. I mean, if you're talking about a horror movie, odds are it's going to end in, and then they kill everyone. So it's not really a spoiler.
No, because that happens in all. It's either they kill everyone or the killer escapes.
Yeah, or both.
Well, that's pretty much basically in Rob Zombie's movies because like he always lets the villains escape.
I think that's why people like, especially Devil's Rejects, so much, is because that's a perfect example of these just absolute horrendous people, the Firefly family, and everybody loves them. Like it's a very artfully written film where you're rooting for the bad guy as much as you are in a Rob Zombie film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying in the Eli Roth History of Horror or whatever it is podcast or whatever. He was saying that he always wants to make the bad guy win and get away with stuff because like getting away with things is like really cool and stuff like that. But Rob has an interesting mind when it comes to like these type of movies.
Yeah,
like they're not the best, but like he's good. He's decent.
I like all of his stuff. Yeah.
Me too. I kind of wish he done the werewolf women with the SS.
Yeah,
as a film.
I'm sure that would
have been awesome to see and see Nicolas Cage in that movie as well.
Yeah, I always say that my favorite movie of his is House of a Thousand Corpses, but I always go back and forth between that and Lords of Salem. I really like Lords of Salem, and a lot of people dislike that movie.
I was one of those people.
It's so weird, it's different, and you don't know what's going on, but like I really like that movie.
But it's a psychological horror. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what introduced me into psychological horror.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wasn't really a fan. Well, maybe The Sixth Sense is like maybe one of the first ones too. But the Lords of Salem really was a complete mindfuck. I hated it at first, but then I guess the more you watch it, the more you appreciate it and you like it more because you know what's going on. But yeah, that movie was a complete mindfuck.
I think the first time I watched that film, I was watching it with my brother, and I was like, "Did you put something in my drink? Like, is this all really happening?" In this movie? Like, but I like it.
Yeah, and the death metal band in that movie is Rob Zombie's band. Yeah, it was Rob Zombie's band. Really, Big D was in there as well. But yeah, John
like the footage of them or the
the footage.
Yeah,
it was his band apparently, from what I've read.
I mean, why not? Like they're just there. Like, hey, come dress up like ghouls and play this horrendous music.
If Sid Haig was still around, I would love to see him do a Captain Spaulding Christmas special.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good Joe Bob Briggs Last Drive-In, like have him be like a horror host or something for just one episode.
Yeah, or do like a mini TV series or something.
Yeah,
just based on Christmas with Captain Spaulding.
That's another one, I guess. The on Shudder, the Creep Show Christmas special. That one was freaking wild.
Yeah. That fucking Shudder's got everything, man.
They do, but like I don't know, the licensing is always weird because, well, like the Joe Bob Briggs stuff, for example, you know, like he hosts movies that Shudder has the rights to. But like depending upon where you are, not everyone gets to watch the movies. Like you know, like he'll do these last drive-ins, and like sometimes in America, all I can do is watch the rants. But then like in Europe, they can watch the actual movie he's talking about, and then it'll be like reverse. So I don't know how any of that works, but Shudder does have a lot when they have it.
Yeah. I wonder if it's different compared to maybe here and over the States. Because I know they've released a new Christmas horror movie out recently. It's A Wonderful Knife. I think what it's called.
Yeah, I did see that that's on there. I think the stuff that is a Shudder original is everywhere. But if it's like just a movie that they're trying to get the rights to, they only have rights to it in certain regions, which doesn't make sense. But
no, they need to stop doing that with Netflix and shit like that, because like Netflix in the States always have better stuff than what they do here.
Really?
Yeah. That's why people are getting these software fucking things to download
like the VPN
the code or something. Yeah. And all that crap. Almost like just rent it or something like that.
I'm waiting for there's so many streaming platforms that I'm waiting for us to all get to the point where we say, you know what, there's too much. It would be easier if there was just like one platform that you could get that had all the channels on it, and it like came into your house directly to your TV through a subscription. And us old guys are going to be like, do you mean like cable?
Yeah.
You mean you want to go back? Same with shopping.
I could see us saying that. Yes.
Same with shopping. They're going to be like, hey, I'm so tired of like so many websites. I wish there was like one building that just had all of the stores in it. Like, you mean like a mall?
Yeah.
I think we're just a couple years away from it all coming back.
Yeah. But I'm struggling with all the different bloody streaming services now, man.
I'm getting to a point, you know, obviously I am with books, as you can see.
Yeah.
And the bookshelves go onto that wall, and then there's more. But with movies, I'm starting to realize that I need to start buying more movies, because all of the stuff that's available streaming only, as soon as it's gone, it's going to be gone forever. Yeah. Like you really have to, I think people need to bring back physical media, because it's kind of the same thing with with my music, I guess, like why I've considered getting CDs made, because there's going to come a point where like, if Bandcamp shuts down, my music isn't going to exist anymore. You know, if Spotify shuts down, like there's going to be no more Valkyrie ED, because no one owns anything anymore. No, yeah, you have a good point there. And that's the reason why people should buy physical stuff, physical CDs or whatever it is, you know. Like, yeah, streaming it is good because at least you can share it on social media and all that type of stuff. But like if you buy the actual physical stuff, like CDs or vinyl or whatever, you know, you're actually supporting the artist. Yeah. You know, but now streaming now is just it's been taken over the world for like forever, I guess. Like maybe whenever streaming came out. You know, and at least for music, I feel like streaming just completely destroyed the concept of an album. You know, to the average listener, I don't know the last time someone has listened to a whole record, you know. It's like
Yeah.
streams, to have a stream counted on Spotify, you have to listen to at least 30 seconds. So like
Oh wow.
as a musician, if you want to capture someone to them to actually listen to the song and be a stream, you only have 30 seconds. You only have, and if you write an 8-minute song, you only have 30 seconds to convince them to stick around. And like,
Oh.
there's just so much comes out in a single day. Like I forget the number. It's like tens of thousands of songs or tracks are released to Spotify every single day.
Yeah.
And like we're all competing with each other, and it just continually devalues the concept of like, like I write the songs with the intent of each song playing into the next one, kind of bleeding into the next one. Like Shadow of the Bat, the song ends and then there's like that Moog synthesizer bit that plays directly into Seance. Well, if you just log on and listen to Seance, you're going to miss that next part,
Yeah.
Or like if you just listen to Shadow of the Bat, you're like, where is this going? Like there's no transition anymore. And streaming has killed that, I think.
Yeah. For music and for movies.
Yeah, movies the same way. It's like, I mean, on this episode and on the last episode, when you're like, oh, did you see, whatever list of new releases? I'm like, no, I haven't yet, because I'm still watching all the shit that came out in 2018, like trying to catch up.
Yeah. It's I don't know. The way how streaming services are going for music artists, it's just getting worse and worse. And now,
yeah,
yeah,
and it has happened. It's happened quickly, like I've seen. Tales from the Wicked came out in 2019, and it was just on Bandcamp, and then in 2020 I put it out on Spotify, and just in that time from 2019 to now, because everything, the Bandcamp for Artists app gives you like a line graph of streams. Like I can see this steady decline, how everything goes down, because like everyone is putting so much out now that there's just no time available for people to listen to stuff. And it's happened in as quick as 4 years,
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, like streaming, it is good for like discovering new artists, but like it's not going to hurt you if you have the money to go out and buy just like a physical copy of their album.
Right.
Like majority of the new bands that I've discovered is on Spotify.
Yeah. And, I'm not even on Spotify anymore. I use Apple Music. So I think Apple Music does a much better job of discovering.
Yeah, so I've heard.
I think the Apple algorithms are better at, I feel like they make better recommendations based on what you're actually listening to and based on what you actually like, as opposed to just Spotify. I just feel like it recommends the same stuff over and over again. Because Spotify, it's all based on stream count. So if Spotify recommends something and it gets more streams, then that's going to become the thing that gets more recommendations, which is going to give it more streams, which will never promote the lesser known stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because after I finished listening to your EP, then like it went on to stuff that was very similar. So obviously like Trivium came up.
Yeah.
And like a few other like similar bands and stuff. But yeah, a lot of people are switching to Apple Music now for streaming.
Yeah, well, it all sounds better for one, and then two, I think it's just better for myself as a musician, as an artist, and as just a fan of music. I prefer it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And but yeah, who knows, man? Streaming, like I said, streaming services destroying the music industry for sure. But then you remember when Spotify gave an offer to Joe Rogan during the pandemic, like 4 years ago, whatever it was,
like 6 million or something like that.
Yeah, for all of his episodes, and he could do upload his video podcast up on Spotify, and he can do whatever he wants and stuff for whatever it's 6 million. You said.
I think it's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the artists was like so angry about that because this was during lockdown, and they offered him that the money, because he used to do all of his podcasts on YouTube, but now he's just posting up clips. He's not doing any live streams on YouTube anymore since Spotify gave him a contract for all of his fucking episodes and all that stuff. So, and I don't blame the artists for getting angry over it, because the artists they work their asses off for their music, and they're getting fuck all for what they're getting, you know.
Yeah, and it seems like year over year, Spotify makes another change that just further shits on the little guy. You know, like it used to be. This year, it was, I think, like 0.006 cents per stream, but you have to hit like 1,000 streams on an individual song before you become eligible for that, or something like that. I don't know. Nothing I ever have to worry about. But starting next year, the requirement is your song has to hit 1,000 streams, and then it has to maintain 1,000 streams before it then becomes eligible for the 0.006 cents.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, from a business standpoint, maybe that makes sense somewhere to some shareholder's wallet, but you know, for someone who came on the scene as representing themselves as, oh, we're going to be this central hub for musicians to support one another, like, you're very much not that anymore.
Yeah. I know there's other streaming services, platforms out there where you can release your music and it'll be like 100%, you know, yours, and there's no cutbacks or anything like that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name, but I know Ola has mentioned him, and I think Chris Garza from Suicide Silence mentioned it on his podcast as well.
Yeah, one of the best ones now is Bandcamp. That's where people can house their music, and that's where they can set up their merch shops. And Bandcamp only starts to take a cut after you reach a certain maximum number of sales, and even then the artist still retains, I think, 85% of their sales. But yeah, it's funny. I use DistroKid. It's a distribution service where I upload the music and then it just puts them into all of the streaming services for me. It sends it to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, whatever. And you know, whenever you upload, it'll show you a little status bar of all the places that it's been uploaded to. And with every release I've put out, that little status bar is longer. There's more streaming platforms every time I put out music. And like, I haven't heard of 90% of them. So I don't even know where people go to listen to music anymore, but there's more options apparently, because that's what we need.
Yeah. YouTube's one of them now these days.
Yeah, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, one. But
it's YouTube Music's just like the audio, correct?
YouTube Music, I don't even know. I get that makes sense. YouTube Music would be just the music, and then you go to actual YouTube if there's like a video with it. But I don't.
Yeah, a guy that I work with said he's not on Spotify or anything like that because he reckons it's too expensive, and it's just not really worth it. Yeah. So that's why he went with YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know how much YouTube Music is. Apple Music is $1 more than. Well, actually, it was. It's not anymore. I think they're the same price now. But
okay.
I just, like I said, I prefer Apple Music as a fan. I think it does a better job of recognizing what I like and promoting. Like all of the stuff that I discovered this year, all came from Apple Music, and I don't know. And I think artists, they do pay more for artists, pay more per stream, but it's still, you know, some fraction of a penny. But
yeah,
I'm not there yet.
Not much. Nah, you'll get there, man. You know, just got to believe in yourself, dude.
As soon as I stop complaining about it, yeah, I'll get there.
Well, dude, I appreciate you for coming on again and coming on and celebrating my birthday, dude.
Yeah, happy birthday, by the way. I didn't, you know.
Yeah, I'm an old fucker now, man. Guess how old I am?
I think I heard 38. Is that what?
Yeah. A lot of people said I look younger than that, but I'm really 38.
I think you do look younger than that, but I think the gray and the beard's really starting to show.
This is all fake, dude.
Oh, okay. But prosthetic.
Yeah, that's the prosthetic.
Use the wrong glue at Halloween, and now you can't get it off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I tried to go as Krampus, but like it didn't work.
Yeah.
And but yeah, someone said I look fucking 26.
I had so I
if
just
I shaved the beard, I look 18.
So in October I just turned 33, and I was talking to someone at work, and they're like, "Oh, I had no idea you were that old. I thought you might have only been like 31." And I was like, "That's not really the compliment you think it is. Like, it's just 1 year."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone said I look like. She goes, "Oh, you're really 38." I'm turning 38. I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You're lying." I'm like, no. He goes, "Yeah, you're lying. You're not turning 38." I'm like, yeah. He goes, "No, you're fucking lying, man." I'm like, "I was born in 1985, for fuck's sake."
Yeah.
Like, look
You're
at
right.
my birth
I'm lying.
certificate.
You got me.
Yeah, I'm actually 42. Like, but dude,
So I
thank
don't
you
know.
so much.
Today,
What's that?
today is your birthday. So the 9th.
Yeah,
it's the 9th here, but it's the
10th.
10th here, right?
10th. Yeah, so it's almost 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's
I don't even have to tell you happy birthday yet, so I'm not late. I'm still early.
Yeah, so I could celebrate it twice because Pink Sock is coming back on New Year's Eve, and I'm going to be celebrating New Year's Eve twice again this year.
Cool.
I did it last year. It was fucking weird. It was like going back through time.
Yeah.
Again, which I don't want to do that again. But
Well, it gives you a chance, in case the first one sucks, you can always redo it.
Exactly, yeah, or just don't do it, really.
Yeah.
But guys, check out Corey Thomas' new EP, Curse. Kind of reminds me of the Final Destination cover, actually. When I looked at this.
Super low budget.
Which I thought it was. Yeah. You sure? It's fucking well done. Was this in your living room or?
It's in my basement. Actually, what I did, I'll show you. So I went to Target and I bought a $5 skull, and then I used sandpaper and pencil, and I made this little guy. I did all the shading myself, colored it all in, roughed it up, used an X-Acto knife, and tore up all the teeth, made the teeth all jagged. And then this is a new little logo I made. It's a sigil. So those are all of the letters of Valkyrie AD.
Interesting.
Made into a sigil. So that's curse aesthetic.
10 years from now, you probably sell it for like $500.
So I know, okay. So I know that we talked about merch last time I was on, but that's what I am looking at doing right now, is like a long sleeve T-shirt that has, just the name, the skull, and that sigil on the back.
That'd be cool. Even a skull, even if you do like a bundle, right? Do like a T-shirt, like with that.
Yeah. I think it just all depends on where I can do it, because I don't want it to be too, if you do like the whole album art, if it gets too much of that like screen press look where it kind of peels off after a couple washes. So I'd rather try to keep it a little more similar, but I don't know. It's all just plans, so I can say whatever.
Yeah. But guys, check out this EP, man. Like, if you like Trivium, and if you like other cool heavy stuff, go check this out. Like, it would.
Even if you don't like it, just listen to it anyway.
Yeah, he needs the money so he can come to Australia.
Yeah.
But, that's like another 50 million streams or something like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, whatever it is. But Corey, I appreciate you. We keep in touch, and if I don't hear from you or see you before Christmas, have a good Christmas, my friend.
Thank you. You too. And I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll talk because,
Oh yeah, it's social media.
we'll send some dumb memes or something between now and then.
Yeah, like that fucking Ghostface electric guitar. Holy
That's pretty
shit, I
cool.
want that one. Yeah, I need to track that down. But dude, I appreciate you, and guys, see you all next time.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, and I think we just set the new record for 155. But anyway,
Nice. Another 2 hours.
fuck yeah, fuck yeah. This is turning into like the Joe Rogan Experience 2.0. But guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
See ya.
And watch Krampus. Like, I'm being serious.